All-Stars tournament put on by StarCraft. We got to be stream it, pretty proud, pretty happy, and of course we're covering some of the matches that got missed back in the round of 8. But if you do want to go watch the finals live, twitch.tv/StarCraft is the place to be. Spawning it though in the top left corner of this map, game number 2. They're up 1-0 in the series. It's gonna be the Zerg Archon, the Zerg Cerebrate, Violet, and Stephano.
The bottom right as the blue Terran, it's MaSa and Trump.
No gold bases on this map, Sambergub.
Yeah, there are.
You're right in the middle. My bad.
Haha.
I meant to cheese those.
Sure.
Fine.
You should know this, Rifkin.
Rifkin, have you even cast this game before?
I don't think we've seen those bases taken or taken them themselves since the very first game that we played. Remember that epic game when Geno Glanlings were like so stupid?
Those Puck and Max was Black we fought against, right? I think. Or am I thinking of a different series?
Puck and some Max was Black doesn't sound familiar, but Puck does.
I'm pretty sure it was Puck and Max was Black that were playing together, but I could be mistaken on it. But no,
it was a seriously good game.
Yeah, we had mined out all the bases. Like that was probably the most fun. By the way, just in general, I really miss doing Arkham mode. We need to get back on that bandwagon at some point. But Braylon 26, congratulations on winning a Pylon USB charger! Hurrah! Let me go name here Braylon 26. So a lot of you may be wondering, what do we have to do if we won a giveaway? Like, what does that actually entail? What does that mean? So for now, nothing. But after the stream's done, I have to compile a list of all the people who won the names, and I have to go reach out to them, get your addresses, forward that to Blizzard. I'm going to basically be putting it all in a Google document. So it'll be pretty easy. Just name, address, all that good stuff. And I guess if you won like a hoodie, the size of the hoodie you would want type thing. But again, try to give away as much of this StarCraft stuff as we can. So already another new Pylon charger giveaway opened up. Good luck. SCV does miss Scout, a little unfortunate, but heading in the right direction now. Runes of Saras has a cool bug on it right now. Apparently with this tree. Do you see this? I'm going to ping this. It's like a tree floating in midair.
Thank you. Yes, I see that.
Okay.
Amazing.
I don't know how this got here when it wasn't there in the beta, but live version is flying trees. I was going to say, someone posted this on Reddit earlier. So for those who don't know, these are blockers. You actually cannot use a Reaper to jump through these two things on the top of the ramp. But if you use a Reaper to jump up this ramp while it's midair, it actually gets high ground vision of the top of the ramp.
Oh, right, that one.
That's kind of cool. I mean, it's totally a bug and not at all intended, but it's still cool. But Trump and MaSa, I really like the idea of what they had in the first game. I think they knew full well. Neither of them, especially even MaSa, much less Trump, probably stood a chance against Violet in the late game. Playing macro against a player like this, not just because Violet's a good player, Stephano's a good retired pro, but because Ultralisks are almost impossible to deal with in a lot of different ways. Same with Broodlords later on. So I like the idea to try and end it early. You may see them trying over the same thing here, but it won't be nearly as easy because Runes of Saras is a massive map.
Yeah, this does mean that it favors the Zerg a little bit here, as it is the biggest and farthest away spawns you can get. So they have a lot of time to defend when they see something coming. Once again, like same amount of lings basically that destroyed the gold base mining, but won't be able to get to the supply depot here.
You get the wall down anyway, so it looks good nonetheless.
So it looks like the plan for our Terrans here is gonna go not old school, but one of the most common all-ins.
Mouse over. Violet army.
No, I'm trying. Okay, it didn't work for me.
Oh, what's this Violet attack armory? It's cool. I like that you can read that, but like that's the sort of stuff I wish again, like you could mouse over and see who is actually like clicking the units. It's like right now when you mouse over the Hellions, this is MaSa/Trump, but I would love if it just said like MaSa or Trump. If it was like one of them selecting the Hellions.
Well, besides having that cool little ping feature, it is important that they did ping it, they did see it, and usually a Hellbat at this timing only means one thing, and that is Hellbat Liberator. You can go for like Marine Hellbats, but
it's going to be banlings to break the Hellbats, which I don't disagree with, but the choice of no roaches, I'm curious. They do know that they have to know Liberator is going to be following this up. Queens can do only so much when really it's the Ravager that shuts it down so easily. Perhaps banking on, I guess, staying outside of the range of those little circles? I don't know.
Well, Queens will do it. One of the problems of Liberators is that, of course, they do need to have a spot where they can't be attacked. So in the back of mineral lines or surrounded by an army. Or on a ramp. But as you can see, the Queens dodge out and they're going to be able to kill it.
Oh my god, just barely. Just barely. There we go.
None of the Banelings. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say the Banelings weren't morphed, so this could kind of snowball, but with the Liberator already down, that drastically decreases the chance to snowball.
This Queen defense has been fantastic, by the way. Like, can we just talk about that? 4 Queens just held off Hellbats and Liberator pretty much on their own. The Banelings didn't come in until like way later.
Yeah.
That was a great holdout of Stephano and Violet.
One of the best, and you know, the first time the Hellbat Liberator build was introduced, well, the first time the Liberator was
QXE
different,
and Beastie together were just disgusting
right.
with it.
People thought it was OP, like legitimately, and then the Ravager came in and helped out, and then you know, this, that, and the other. But people, once again, like the longer this game is going to be played, the more that these OP strategies are going to be like, oh, why did we ever think that was OP like 3 months from now?
The Ravager was, in my opinion, one of the most shocking things to come out and be a counter
oh my
to
God.
that as well, because it had been written off as a unit. No one was using it.
Rigged. Zealous wins.
Congratulations, Zealous. All right, Liberator coming to the backside, but it's already Spore Crawler down. For those who do not know, Liberators cannot attack buildings, so kind of got this hold on lockdown. I like that Transfuse as well, being really safe with the Queens. MaSa and Trump just in trouble. This was it was an attack. I hesitate to call it an all-in as there's a 3rd command center down, but this was an attack that was really intended to do quite a bit of damage and unfortunately caused, well, almost none.
Yeah, either indirect or direct damage, and it really did neither because I think maybe 1 or 2 Queens died, but they were excess Queens anyways, and Queens are almost never bad to have. You're going to have a macro hatchery pretty early in Legacy of the Void, you're going to be expanding to a 4th base pretty early, like it's already almost done, and of course you're going to still want creep spread. That has not stopped being good, even if it does recede faster. We have a Spire on the way. Last time they went for Corruptors. Might do the same thing here, but the Infestation Pit's also on the way. So maybe quick in a Hive?
Oh man, I keep forgetting. Not that we'll probably see it, because it's going to be really rare and exclusive situations, but they gave the Infestor back its Neural Parasite range.
Ah, yes. Yes. Something they asked for in Heart of the Swarm to help with mech, I believe, and they were just like, no.
Well, one of the cool things I particularly enjoy about it is if you guys watched, Fenner was actually doing a lot of stuff where he was parasiting the Disruptors.
Oh my god. So this actually has something to do with this game, but you know, the campaign when you're like, good luck, man. This is a hard one for me. I had to restart it once because I had a bad start, which is like the campaign in a nutshell for me.
Campaign in a nutshell, yeah, it's like I had a bad start. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, once you understand what's happening, then it's actually like a lot easier. But anyways, I made a bunch of Dark Archons, and I just made my army because the mind-controlled units don't count as supply. So I just mind-controlled every single unit that came my way.
Sounds like having a bunch of neural parasites. Very nice.
Exactly.
Very nice. All right, well, still pushing up here in the front lines. MaSa and Trump don't really have a lot to push with. The Widow Mines are not really going to accomplish much, and in fact, there's a counterattack kind of running around the map right now. No defense really at the 3rd. A small amount of Marines.
If they were in a bit better position, there we go. Nope, even then, not enough.
The SCVs had just like attacked, actually. That would have been fantastic. Drop at the main with some Hellbats. Double Hellbat drops actually going to go off, but the Corruptors quickly dispatch these, and this, again, it's not really killed that many workers. 8 in total. 3 in total.
3 Queens go down on the front line trying to buy time, and they probably did buy time. Even if this 5th base goes down, there's another one on the way to the right, and if 5th base was, nice, not important.
Oh, that medevac's full of units, but it's gonna get away! What?
Okay, but a bunch of SCVs just went down to Banelings, the 3rd base.
Okay, that's gonna suck as well. 18, so about 10 more go down while this was happening. Widow Mine's getting cleaned up as well. Not looking good for MaSa and Trump. Upgrade's holding strong though, but Zerg's gonna have that 2-2 advantage in due time. Adrenaline's as well. I forgot they're on Hive Tech.
They went rather quick in a Hive, so... Corruptors, they are nice. They take care of the medevacs. They have that armor to really power through. They can take care of Liberators too if the Terran's on their way to that. They can attack buildings now, so they're no longer useless if they can attack in the air. But also, amongst all those good things, they can morph into broodlords if you're gonna go for a quick hive. You can
Violet,
find the time.
Violet screaming to defend with those pings.
So I guess they're not talking. I mean, one has a Korean accent, the other one has a French accent, and they're like, we're not gonna send each other.
Maybe. Shoutouts to Oxy744 winning the StarCrafts hoodie, by the way. Congratulations. Corruptor's doing a great job sniping off these medevacs. Baneling's rolling around once again, trying to get to that SCV line. Not going to happen twice, though.
Army getting out of position. Army getting out of position. Why can't I see this? Is it because I have like tooltips off or whatever?
Maybe. I have no idea what would... Flyer tips, maybe, or something. Ling around by over here. Thor's, I'm surprised Thor's came out. This actually makes no sense to me at all.
No.
There's no roaches and there's been no mutalisks. It's all been corruptors.
MaSa is very much so trying to play Heart of the Swarm, but not even that great of a Heart of the Swarm, if we're going to be honest. So like Marines with a couple Marauders and eventually Drilling Claws with Thors, and you have that perfect army in Heart of the Swarm. But they didn't have a very good early game. They didn't have a very good mid game. So even if this was Heart of the Swarm, they'd still be losing. And it is a different expansion too, where they have other better options, better ways to play that they're not using.
I guess it's a good way to phrase that. We did have a lot of players who were good at Heart of the Swarm fail miserably in Legacy of the Void, just due to the fact that they weren't accustomed to the new mechanics changes or not using the new tools available to them. I mean, we saw them go for Liberators, so it's not like they're playing exclusively Heart of the Swarm, but the strategy for the macros certainly is, and it's just not cutting it. Banelings and Widowmines trade out, but as you see, the Corrupt is just kind of flying because there's nothing to kill them.
Pee on it! Pee on it!
Ah, that's right. Corruptors can caustic spray a building. They could actually do something against the command center. There we go!
Here we go.
Probably Stephano, if I had to guess, right? GG.
The way they explain it in the art book is that they're puke, and I forget what the official word they use, over time degenerates the molecular level, at a molecular level, armor and shields. So that's why it does damage over time, like it increases damage over time.
Nope.
Now why that doesn't, carry over beyond...
Too silly, too ridiculous.
Beyond when they're attacking? I don't know, but...
Well, guys, we're going to be done with the stream. We're going to finish out this last raffle. We're going to play a set of ads here to send us off. We'll come back, say our goodbyes. I want to talk about what's coming up this week, though, because we got a ton of stuff. We're really back on the casting train, guys. Lots of stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow specifically, but again, talk about that in 2 minutes. See you guys soon.